March 23, 2024. Forward operating base in hostile territory, Eastern Conflict Zone. 3:47 in the morning. The underground bunker is completely dark. Only the red blinking light of a device reflects on the sweaty face of a woman. Lieutenant Olivia Carter, 32 years old. Right hand trembling over intertwined wires, blue, red, yellow. Around her, 4 soldiers hold their breath. The digital timer reads 47 seconds, 46, 45. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then, with precise movement, she cuts the yellow wire. Absolute silence. The device shuts down. The red light goes out. 5 lives saved. One of the soldiers whispers in relief, his voice barely audible in the enclosed space. The soldier, voice filled with disbelief, says, How did you know?" Olivia lightly touches the left side of her face, where a thin scar runs from her ear to her jawline. Her lips curve into a half-smile. A tired smile. A smile that carries years of pain. Olivia, in a calm but loaded tone, responds, "Because I hear what you can't." But how did she get there? How did a woman who was barely seen as a real soldier 18 months ago become the only person capable of saving an entire operation? To understand this moment, we need to go back to the beginning, to the day when everything started to fall apart. Or rather, to the day she started to rebuild herself. 18 months earlier. Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Headquarters of the 3rd Battalion Special Operations, one of the Army's most elite units. Lieutenant Olivia Carter walks down the main corridor at 6 in the morning. Impeccable uniform. Perfect posture. Eyes fixed ahead. But there's something different. Notice this. When someone calls her name in the corridor to her left, she doesn't respond. She keeps walking. The soldier grumbles under his breath. The soldier, irritation dripping from his words, mutters, "Stuck-up bitch." Doesn't even answer. She's not stuck up. She simply didn't hear. Olivia enters the briefing room. 10 officers are already seated. She chooses a strategic chair, right side of the table, back to the wall, clear view of the door. It's not by accident. Colonel Anderson enters, a man of 56 years, rigid military posture, perfectly groomed gray mustache, eyes that have seen 3 tours in Iraq. Colonel Anderson, his authoritative voice filling the room, announces, "Gentlemen and lady, we have a new operation." Olivia observes every movement of his lips. Her eyes don't blink. She reads each word before the sound even reaches her. The colonel distributes dossiers across the table with methodical precision. Colonel Anderson, pointing to locations on the digital map, continues Operation Fallen Angels. Hostage rescue. Hostile territory. High-risk classification. He points at the digital map. Olivia tilts her head slightly to the right, her good ear. An almost imperceptible movement that she's perfected over 3 years. The colonel, scanning the room with evaluating eyes, states, "We need 5 officers. Specialists in explosives, tactical combat, and negotiation." Olivia straightens in her chair. Her dossier is perfect. Specialization in bomb disposal, 3 successful missions, maximum scores in simulation training, psychological evaluation cleared. She raises her hand with quiet confidence. And then, what always happens, happens. Colonel Anderson, uncomfortable tension in his voice, hesitates. "Lieutenant Carter, this mission requires, well, it requires constant communication via radio." Uncomfortable silence in the room. 10 pairs of eyes subtly glancing at Olivia, then away. Major Daniels, false concern masking condescension, interjects, "What the colonel is trying to say, Olivia, is that your condition might compromise the team." Condition. The word hangs in the air like a sentence of death to her career. Olivia, controlled but firm voice cutting through the tension, responds, "Sir, with all due respect, my success rate in bomb disposal is 98%. The highest in this unit." Captain Marcus Reed, disdain practically dripping from his words as he leans back in his chair, Scoffs, success in simulations, sweetheart. Real world is different. Real world has noise, chaos. And you, well, you don't hear half of what's happening, do you? Discreet chuckles echo through the room. Olivia feels each laugh like a knife between her ribs. Olivia clenches her fists under the table hard enough that her nails dig into her palms. She breathes deeply, counting to 5 like her therapist taught her. Olivia, maintaining her composure despite the humiliation burning in her chest, insists, "Permission to present my field record, sir." Colonel Anderson, with finality that closes all discussion, declares, "Denied." The chosen ones will be Captain Reed, Lieutenant Hayes, Lieutenant Morgan, Lieutenant Parker, and Sergeant Williams. Olivia, you'll remain in tactical support. Data analysis. Air. Safe. The word cuts deeper than any blade. Deeper than the explosion that took her hearing. Olivia doesn't respond. She just nods once, sharply. Collects her papers with mechanical precision. Exits the room with her head held high because she'll be damned if they see her break. In the empty corridor, she leans against the cold concrete wall. Closes her eyes. Touches the scar on her left ear, tracing its familiar path. And for the first time in months, a single tear falls down her cheek. But who really is Olivia Carter? To understand the woman, we need to understand the girl. 22 years ago. Olivia is 10 years old, pigtails and skinned knees. She's at home in their small house in Tennessee, watching her father, Colonel Michael Carter, decorated hero with 2 Purple Hearts, clean his pistol at the kitchen table. She observes fascinated. Every movement, every piece, every technique. Young Olivia, excitement bubbling in her high-pitched voice, declares, "Daddy, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a soldier just like you." Her father pauses, looks at his daughter with those wise, tired eyes that have seen too much war. Her father, voice warm but realistic, responds, "My little warrior. The military world is tough. Especially for women." Young Olivia, determination steel in her young voice, insists, "Then I'll be so good they can't say no." Her father laughs, ruffles her hair with his calloused hand. Her father, smiling with pride and pain, says, "Then we better start training." And they trained. Years of training. Olivia became exceptional. Entered West Point at 18. Graduated with honors at 22. Specialized in explosive ordnance disposal at 24. Everything was perfect. Until that day. 3 years ago. Olivia, 29 years old, on humanitarian mission in Afghanistan. It wasn't an official operation. It was voluntary. Her team, 3 American soldiers, 2 medics from Doctors Without Borders. Remote village. Children playing soccer with a deflated ball. Women cooking flatbread over open fires. Fragile peace in a war-torn land. And then, Olivia sees it. A metallic glint different from the others in the dirt, near where the children are playing. Her stomach freezes into ice. IED. Improvised explosive device. Buried in the ground. Pressure plate barely visible under dust. And a child, a boy maybe 6 years old with bright eyes and gap-toothed smile, is running directly toward it. His little feet kicking up dust with each step. Olivia, panic barely contained in her shout, screams, "No! Stop!" But it's too late. The boy's foot touches the pressure trigger. There's a mechanical click that freezes time itself. Olivia doesn't think. Pure instinct takes over. She runs. 15 feet in 2 seconds. Pushes the boy with all her strength. Throws herself over the device. Tries to redirect the blast. The explosion is deafening. Literally. When Olivia wakes up in the military hospital in Landstuhl, Germany, 4 days later, the world is different. She hears from only half her head. Only the right ear works. The left, absolute silence. Eardrum destroyed. Nerve damage irreversible. But she saved the boy. And 6 other children who were nearby. The price? Her career. Her dream. Her identity. The military doctor, professional but emotionless voice delivering devastating news, states, "I'm sorry, Lieutenant. But with this level of hearing loss, you can no longer serve in active combat. It's safety protocol." Olivia, voice broken and desperate, her entire world crumbling, pleads, "Doctor, please, I can compensate, I can train, I can." The doctor, final and unmoved, cuts her off. "You can't hear a radio on your left side. You can't detect sound direction. You're a liability. To yourself and to your team. I'm recommending medical discharge." But Olivia didn't give up. She fought, trained obsessively, developed compensatory techniques that no textbook ever mentioned, learned perfect lip reading in 3 languages, memorized vibration patterns of every known explosive device. After 2 years of bureaucratic battle and psychological evaluations, she was readmitted. But with restrictions. Always with restrictions. And with a look of pity or disdain from every colleague. Some saw her as broken. Others as a diversity checkbox. Almost none saw her as a soldier. Back to the present. 10 p.m. Fort Bragg Training Facility empty. Only emergency lighting casting long shadows. Olivia is alone in the bomb disposal training center. A place she knows better than her own apartment. In front of her, 15 different types of simulated explosive devices arranged in ascending difficulty. She blindfolds her right ear, the good one. Olivia, voice low, talking to herself with grim determination, murmurs, "If I can't hear, I'll feel." She places her hands over the first device, closes her eyes, shuts out the world, feels the vibrations, the different heat signatures of the wires, the texture of the components under her sensitive fingertips. Her fingers dance over the mechanism like a pianist over keys. Cuts one wire. Another. Deactivates in 43 seconds. Next device. 38 seconds. Next. 31 seconds. She's not just training. She's transforming. Creating an ability that nobody else possesses. Tactile bomb disposal. She doesn't need to hear the tick-tock. She feels the mechanism. The electromagnetic field. The current flow. The temperature differentials. But nobody knows. Nobody sees. A voice behind her, feminine and measured, breaks the silence. "You were always the most dedicated." Olivia turns sharply, dropping into defensive stance before recognizing the figure. It's Colonel Helena Morrison, one of the few high-ranking women in Special Operations, 54 years old, steel-gray hair in tight bun, eyes that miss nothing. Olivia, respect and surprise in her controlled tone, says, "Colonel Morrison, I didn't hear you approach, ma'am." Helena, understanding and almost gentle, responds, "I know. And that's exactly why you're here training at 10 p.m., isn't it?" Silence hangs between them, heavy with unspoken understanding. Helena, voice softening with almost maternal concern, continues, "Olivia, I read your complete file. The real one. Not the edited version that circulates. I know what you did in Afghanistan. I know why you did it. And I know what you became after." Olivia, vulnerability creeping into her voice, admits, "Then you know they'll never give me a real chance, ma'am." Helena, voice firm with conviction, states, "They won't. But I will. Operation Fallen Angels? It's going to go wrong. Catastrophically wrong." Olivia, confusion furrowing her brow, asks, "How do you know that, ma'am?" Helena, enigmatic and calculated, explains, "Because I've studied Captain Reed for 3 years. He's excellent. Until the moment he's not. And when he fails spectacularly. His ego blinds him to his limitations." She hands a sealed envelope to Olivia, the paper thick and official. Helena, intensity burning in her eyes, instructs, "In this envelope is an emergency transfer order. Use it only when, not if, when the mission falls apart. It will put you in the field. Officially. With full authority." Olivia, shock evident in her voice, breathes, "Why are you doing this for me?" Helena, voice heavy with personal history, reveals, Because 30 years ago, I was you. Different disability, same prejudice. Someone gave me a chance when nobody else would. Now it's my turn to pay it forward. But listen carefully. This is your only shot. If you fail, neither of us survives politically. Clear. Olivia, determination hardening every word, affirms, crystal clear, ma'am. Helena, final words before disappearing into shadows, says, Olivia? Prove them wrong. Not for me. For every woman who'll come after us. And with that, Colonel Helena Morrison vanishes into the darkness like a ghost with a mission. Olivia looks at the envelope in her hands, then at the simulated devices in front of her. Her jaw tightens. Her eyes gain a different light. It's not hope anymore. It's pure determination. Controlled fury. Unshakable purpose. Olivia, voice low, making a solemn vow to herself, promises, I'll prove it. Whatever it takes. And she returns to training. Faster. More precise. More deadly. Because she knows. She feels it in her bones. The storm is coming. 3 days later. 6 a.m. Fort Bragg Airstrip. UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter being prepped for departure. 5 soldiers doing final equipment check, testing radios, securing weapons, going through the ritual that every operator knows by heart. Captain Marcus Reed, mission leader, 38 years old, impressive physical build, square jaw that belongs on a recruitment poster, confidence bordering on arrogance, checks his rifle with practiced efficiency. Marcus, his voice loud and cocky, announces, Boys, this is gonna be a cakewalk. We go in, grab the hostage, get out. 6 hours, tops. Home for dinner. Lieutenant Jake Hayes, communications specialist, thin frame, wire-rimmed glasses, nervous energy radiating from every movement, fidgets with the radio equipment, adjusting frequencies obsessively. Hayes, anxiety clear in his voice, warns Marcus. Intelligence said there might be booby traps. Explosive devices throughout the structure. Marcus, dismissive disdain dripping from his words, waves it off, so we disarm them. Doesn't take a genius. It's just cutting wires, right? I've done this 1,000 times in simulation. Simulation. The word that defines men who've never faced the real cost of failure. Lieutenant David Morgan, tactical specialist, 41 years old, veteran of 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, face weathered by desert sun and hard choices, frowns deeply, concern etched in every line. Morgan, serious and worried tone, counters, simulation doesn't bleed when you screw up, Marcus. Marcus, defensiveness sharpening his voice, challenges, you doubting me, Morgan? Morgan, tired but steady, responds, I'm doubting the preparation. We should have a real explosives expert, like Lieutenant Carter. Marcus, anger and contempt exploding from him, snaps, oh sure, the deaf chick. Let's bring someone who can't even hear a radio. Brilliant, Morgan. When shit hits the fan, we'll use smoke signals to communicate with her. Laughter erupts from the other 3 soldiers, cruel and casual. Lieutenant Chris Parker, sniper, 29 years old, cocky and young, adds fuel to the fire. Parker, mocking tone clear, jokes, maybe she can read lips from a distance? Oh wait, she needs to be close for that. Like, real close. Where enemies can put a bullet in her. More laughter. Harsher now. What they don't know is that someone is watching. 50 meters away, behind a supply container, Olivia is observing every word. Well, not hearing. Reading each movement of their lips through tactical binoculars, her one good skill turned into a superpower. Each insult, each joke, each word that confirms what she's always known, to them, she'll never be enough. But look at her eyes. There are no tears. There's no surrender. There's something more dangerous. Calculation. She's counting, memorizing, analyzing their every weakness. Marcus didn't review explosive protocols. Hayes is too nervous. He'll fail under pressure. Parker is arrogant and will take unnecessary risks. Morgan is the only competent one. but he's too loyal to Marcus to override him. She presses the envelope from Colonel Morrison inside her uniform, feeling its weight like a promise. Olivia, voice barely a whisper to herself, predicts, "Don't worry, boys. You'll need me sooner than you think." And she's right. Because sometimes, the universe has a sense of justice. 9 hours later. Hostile territory, 210 miles northeast of the base. Abandoned 4-story building, former hospital converted into makeshift enemy stronghold, windows blown out, walls pockmarked with bullet holes telling stories of previous battles. Intelligence indicates the hostage, Senator Richard Blackwood, kidnapped 5 days ago during diplomatic mission, ransom demands ignored by U.S. policy, is in the basement. The 5-man team lands 2 miles away. Approach on foot through rubble and destroyed vehicles. Silent. Professional. This part they know. Marcus, whispering into radio with tactical discipline, commands everyone in position. "Parker, you at the west window." Parker, voice coming through radio static, confirms affirmative. "Got clear line of sight." Marcus, continuing roll call, asks, "Hayes, comm secure?" Hayes, nervousness already creeping in despite calm environment, responds, "Why, yes, sir. Encryption active. But I'm detecting slight interference." Marcus, irritation immediate, snaps, "Interference? From where?" Hayes, uncertainty wavering his words, admits, "I don't know, sir. Could be nothing, or could be." Marcus, authoritative and impatient, cuts him off, "Stop stuttering and monitor. We go in 3 minutes." First mistake, ignoring warning signs. The team enters the building through a side entrance. Main corridor. Darkness punctured only by tactical flashlights cutting through dust-filled air. Concrete debris crunching under boots. Morgan, the veteran, senses something wrong before he sees it. Morgan, voice low and alert, warns, "Marcus, wait. The floor here, it's wrong." Marcus, impatience clear, asks, "Wrong how?" Morgan, caution born from experience, explains, "Weight distribution is off. Could be pressure plates." Marcus, dismissive and rushing, orders, "Could be. Or it could just be old flooring in a bombed-out building. We don't have time for paranoia, Morgan. Move forward." Morgan, insisting despite the command, pushes back, "Sir, I strongly recommend we." Marcus, authority becoming tyranny, barks, "Move forward." That's an order. Second mistake, ego over experience. Morgan breathes deep, decades of military discipline overriding his survival instinct. Steps forward carefully. 1 step. 2 steps. 3 steps. Click. The metallic sound echoes through the corridor like a death sentence. Everyone freezes. Hearts stop. Parker, panic breaking through his cocky facade, shouts, "What was that?" Morgan, absolutely calm but deadly serious, voice of a man who knows he's standing on his own grave, states, "Pressure plate. Under my right boot. If I lift my foot, it detonates." Absolute silence. 5 racing heartbeats. For men who can still move, one who can't. Hayes, hysteria rising in his throat, screams, "What do we do?" All eyes turn to Marcus. The great leader. The confident one. The invincible. And for the first time in his career, he freezes. Marcus, nervousness bleeding through for the first time, stammers, I need to think. Let me see." Morgan, voice firmer now, cutting through the panic, states, "Marcus, you have 15 seconds before my leg cramps and I involuntarily lift my boot. Either you tell me what to do now, or send someone who actually knows." Marcus, trying to sound confident but failing miserably, fumbles, Okay. Pressure plates. I know this. You don't lift your foot, and we disarm the device." Morgan, ironic sarcasm born from facing death, responds, "Brilliant deduction. How do we disarm it, Marcus?" Marcus, revealing total incompetence, admits, "There are wires, right? We cut the wires." Morgan, patience evaporating as death approaches, demands, "Which wires?" Marcus, completely breaking down, confesses, "I don't know. I didn't train for this. This was supposed to be simple." And there, in that moment, truth explodes like the bomb they're standing on. The leader can't lead. The specialist isn't specialized. And a good man might die because of stupid pride. Parker, desperation overriding protocol, suggests we need someone. Someone who actually knows how to defuse bombs. Hayes, realization dawning, offers Olivia, Lieutenant Carter. She's the real explosives expert. Marcus, still in denial even with death seconds away, protests she's at the base. Miles away. And even if she wasn't, she. Morgan, interrupting with a shout that echoes, demands, "She what, Marcus? Finish the sentence. She what?" Because from where I'm standing, literally on a bomb, any help sounds pretty damn good. A female voice crackles through the radio, calm and controlled like ice water on fire. The voice says, "Captain Reed. This is Lieutenant Carter. I can help." All 5 men freeze in shock. Marcus, disbelief and fury mixing, stammers, "Carter. Where are you?" Olivia's voice, professional and measured, responds, "Building next door. East window. Arriving in 45 seconds." Marcus, confusion and anger exploding, demands, "What? How are you here?" Olivia's voice, cutting through his questions like a scalpel, states, "That's a discussion for later." Lieutenant Morgan, brace your hand firmly against the wall. Don't move anything except your head. Understood. Morgan, relief flooding his voice, confirms, "Understood, Lieutenant." 15 seconds later, Olivia enters through a side corridor at full sprint. Full combat uniform. Bomb disposal kit on her back. Eyes focused like laser beams. She drops to her knees beside Morgan without hesitation. Pulls out tactical tools with practiced ease. Illuminates the floor with her flashlight. Olivia, analyzing aloud in clinical tone, assesses Soviet pressure plate. PFM-1 model. Approximately 80 grams of explosive. Lethal radius, 10 feet. Anyone not behind cover will die. Parker, impressed despite himself, asks, "How do you know just by looking?" Olivia doesn't answer. She works. Removes side screws with steady hands. Exposes internal wires. 5 different colors like a rainbow of death. Hayes, nervousness making him babble, suggests, "Which one do you cut?" "The red one. It's always red in the movies." Olivia, concentration absolute, corrects, "In movies, yes. In real life, red detonates immediately." Second most common mistake after cutting random wires. Hayes, swallowing hard, whispers, "Oh, good to know." Olivia places her fingers over the wires without cutting. Closes her eyes. The world disappears. There's no corridor. No soldiers. No fear. Only sensation. Only information flowing through her fingertips like electricity. Olivia, murmuring to herself as she reads the bomb like Braille, analyzes vibration in the yellow, residual heat in the blue, tension in the green. 10 seconds of absolute silence. No one breathes. No one moves. No one exists except Olivia and the mechanism. She opens her eyes. Cuts the green wire with surgical precision. Click. The pressure plate deactivates with a sound like angels singing. Olivia, simple and professional, states, "You can move now." Morgan slowly lifts his boot, inch by agonizing inch. Nothing happens. He releases the breath he's been holding for 2 minutes. Morgan, profound gratitude thick in his voice, says, You just saved my life." Olivia, standing and dusting off her knees, responds, "I did my job." She stands. Looks at Marcus directly. No anger. No triumph. Just cold professionalism. Olivia, holding up official papers, declares, I have emergency transfer orders from Colonel Morrison. I'm officially on this mission now. Any objections? Marcus clenches his jaw. Pride wounded. Ego shattered. But no argument to stand on. Marcus, defeat clear in his voice, concedes no objections. And thus, against all odds, against all prejudice, she's in. But the mission is just beginning. And the worst is still to come. The team advances through the building. More cautiously now. More aware that their assumptions can kill them. Olivia moves point with Morgan. She detects 3 additional traps in 6 minutes, all disarmed with precision that borders on supernatural. Morgan, speaking low to Olivia, asks with genuine curiosity, "How do you detect them so fast?" Olivia, honest without bragging, explains, "When you lose one sense, the others compensate. My peripheral vision is 40% above average. My touch detects temperature variations of half a degree. My spatial awareness maps environments like sonar." Morgan, impressed and thoughtful, admits, "And I thought you were just, well." Olivia, cutting but not cruel, finishes, "disabled." Morgan, embarrassment genuine, apologizes, "Sorry. I was wrong about you." Olivia, softening slightly, accepts, "You weren't alone in that. But thank you for admitting it." They reach the staircase descending to the basement. Concrete steps disappearing into darkness like a throat-swallowing light. Marcus, speaking into radio with more humility now, asks, "Parker, you in overwatch position?" Parker, tension clear through static, responds, "Affirmative." "But Marcus, I'm seeing movement. 3rd floor. Not ours." Marcus, concern sharpening his voice, probes, "How many?" Parker, voice rising with alarm, reports, "At least 4. No, 6. Shit, they're mobilizing." Multiple hostiles armed with AKs moving to defensive positions. Hayes, panic immediate and sharp, warns, "They know we're here. They know." And then, as if the universe confirms their worst fear, emergency red lights blaze throughout the entire building. Siren wailing like an air raid warning. And a distorted voice through ancient loudspeakers, accent thick and threatening. The voice announces, "American soldiers. You have 5 minutes to leave. Or the senator dies. And you die with him." Marcus, panic barely controlled, insists, "It's a bluff. Has to be a bluff." Olivia, analyzing the situation with cold clarity, corrects, "It's not. Look." She points to the corridor ceiling. Red wires freshly installed like veins of death. Devices every 10 feet like tumors of destruction. Olivia, grave assessment, explains, "This entire building is a bomb. And by the installation pattern, they can detonate remotely. We're in a kill box." Hayes, hysteria breaking through, shouts, "We need to leave. Now. Abort mission." Morgan, steady despite the chaos, asks the hard question, "And the senator?" Marcus, torn between duty and survival, struggles, We can't." Olivia, decisive and clear, proposes, "We can. I can deactivate the central system. But someone needs to reach the senator. Simultaneously." Marcus, disbelief obvious, challenges, "You can't disarm the whole building by yourself in 5 minutes." Olivia, looking at him with absolute certainty, asks, "You have a better option?" Silence. The question hangs like the sword of Damocles. Olivia, pressing the point, states, "No, you don't. So you have 2 choices, trust me or we all lose." Morgan, supporting her immediately, decides, "I'll go with her." Marcus, you take Hayes and Parker to the basement. Get the senator. 3 minutes. Not 1 second more. Marcus, reluctant but without alternatives, agrees, Morgan. Morgan, final and absolute, declares, "It's not a request. Let's move." The team splits like a cell dividing. Olivia and Morgan climb to 2nd floor, control room location according to building schematics. Marcus, Hayes, and Parker descend to the basement where death or salvation waits. Timer in everyone's head. 4 minutes 47 seconds. 4:46. 4:45. Olivia kicks open the control room door. Inside, complex electronic panel connecting all devices throughout the building. Wires like spaghetti. Circuits like mazes. Death in circuit board form. Morgan, seeing the complexity and feeling hope die, breathes, "My God, this is..." Olivia, already working with her tools, assesses 18 synchronized devices. Redundant master system. If I shut down wrong, everything detonates. If I shut down right, we buy time. Morgan, urgent question, asks, "How much time do you need?" Olivia, focused on the panel, estimates 3 minutes. Maybe 4. Morgan, showing his watch with the timer counting down, states, "You have 2. Olivia, accepting the impossible, responds, "Then I'll work faster." Her hands fly over the wires. Cutting. Reconnecting. Rerouting current like conducting a symphony of survival. Meanwhile, in the basement, Marcus, Hayes, and Parker find a reinforced metal door. Locked. Through a small window, they see Senator Blackwood, 62 years old, bruised, bloodied, hands zip-tied behind his back, but alive. The senator, voice weak but urgent, warns, You shouldn't have come. It's a trap." Marcus, trying to force the door with shoulder strikes, grunts, "We're getting you out." The door doesn't budge. Solid steel. Electronic lock. Parker, desperation growing, reports it won't open. Electronic locking system. Hayes, checking his tablet frantically, discovers connected to the master system. Olivia needs to shut it down from upstairs. On the second floor, Olivia hears through her radio earpiece. Sweat running down her temples. 3 minutes 18 seconds. 3:17. 3:16. Olivia, breathing hard, reporting through radio, updates, need 30 more seconds. Marcus, shouting through radio, responds, "We don't have 30 seconds. 2 minutes 53. 52. 51. Morgan, calm voice beside Olivia, encourages, "Live. Breathe. You've got this." Olivia closes her eyes. Blocks out all noise, or the lack of it in her left ear. Feels the circuit board. Electromagnetic fields. Current flows. Heat signatures. Her right hand moves. Cuts 2 red wires simultaneously with specialized cutters. Reconnects 1 blue wire to green terminal. 1 minute 48. 47. Cuts the main yellow wire with a prayer. 1 minute 34. 33. And then the red lights extinguish. The timer freezes at 1 minute 23 seconds. Siren silences. Olivia, exhausted but triumphant, reports through radio, system deactivated. Door unlocked. In the basement, the electronic door unlocks with heavy clank. Marcus yanks it open. The senator practically collapses into his arms, sobbing with relief. The senator, voice breaking with emotion, gasps, "Thank you. Thank God. Thank you." For one moment, it seems over. For one moment, victory feels real and solid. But Morgan, experienced enough to know that nothing is ever simple in war, frowns with concern creeping back. Morgan, worried tone returning, questions Olivia. That was too easy. Why would they install a system that can be shut down? Olivia looks at the panel again. Really looks. Studies the architecture. And sees it. Horror blooming like blood in water. A second system. Hidden behind the first. Completely independent. Separate power source. Separate detonators. Olivia, horror growing in her voice, breathes, "No. No, no, no." Morgan, alarm spiking, demands, "What? What is it?" Olivia, shouting into radio with desperation, warns, "Get out. Everyone out now. It's a dual system. I only shut down the first one. There's a backup." In the basement, The four men freeze. Time stops. Hearts stop. Marcus, voice tight, asks, "How much time?" Olivia, checking the second panel with shaking hands, reports, 45 seconds. And this one I don't know if I can crack. Different manufacturer, different design, I've never seen this model. Morgan, deciding in an instant, orders, "Marcus, run. Get the senator out." Marcus, for the first time being an actual leader, refuses, "No. We don't leave anyone behind. That includes you too." Parker, calculating distance and time, realizes, "We can't make it up the stairs in 40 seconds. Hayes, frantic revelation, adds, "The stairs still have traps that Olivia disarmed coming down. We'd need her to clear them again going up." Morgan, speaking into radio with terrible clarity, asks, "Olivia, can you disarm from where you are?" Olivia faces the impossible choice. The kind that breaks people. Saves herself and Morgan. Or saves four men and the hostage. For men who humiliated her, mocked her, doubted her humanity. But four men who are still human. Who have families, children, lives that matter. 37 seconds. 36, 35. Olivia looks at Morgan. He looks back. And in his eyes, she sees it. He's already decided. He'll stay with her, no matter what she chooses. Loyalty. Not from pity. From respect earned in blood and fire. She breathes deep. Her decision crystallizes. Olivia, decided and serene, apologizes, "I'm sorry, Morgan." And then she runs. Out of the control room. Down the stairs, taking them three at a time. Morgan, shouting behind her with fear she's never heard from him, yells, "Olivia, no." She reaches the basement level in 8 seconds. Sprints past the four shocked men and the confused senator. Marcus, confusion obvious, starts, "Carter, what are you?" Olivia, not stopping, not slowing, commands, "Cover your arse." She reaches the first device on the stairway. 8 feet of distance between her and it. 19 seconds. 18. There's no time for technique. For precision. For the careful work she was trained for. She does something she's never done. Works on pure instinct. Gut feeling. No analysis. Cuts 3 wires at once. Rips out the detonator with bare hands. Next device. 6 feet away at a full sprint. 12 seconds. 11. Hands bleeding from wire cuts. Doesn't feel it. Doesn't care. Cuts. Rips. Throws it away. Last device. 3 feet. The one closest to the stairway exit. 6 seconds. 5. Her hands touch the device. No time to feel. To analyze. To think. She simply chooses. Cuts the wire. 4, 3, 2. And it explodes. Not the whole building. Just the device in her hands. The explosion is small. Contained. But strong enough to throw her backward 8 feet. She hits the concrete wall. Head cracks against stone. Darkness swallows everything. When Olivia wakes, she's in the rescue helicopter. 20 minutes have passed like 20 seconds. Her right hand is bandaged heavily. 2nd-degree burns. 3 fingers dislocated. Her face. A new scar crosses her right cheek, angry and red and fresh. But she's alive. Morgan's voice, concern overwhelming every word, calls, "Olivia? You awake." She opens her eyes slowly. Sees all 5 men looking at her. And in their eyes, it's not pity anymore. It's something she's never seen directed at her. Reverence. Oh. Respect earned in fire and blood. Olivia, voice hoarse and damaged, asks, "The senator?" Morgan, relief flooding his response, confirms, "Alive. Because of you." Marcus, voice broken with emotion and guilt, confesses, You saved all of us. After how we treated you. After everything we said, you could have left us. Could have saved yourself. But you. His voice cracks. A 38-year-old decorated soldier crying without shame. Marcus, confessing with raw honesty, continues, I was wrong. Terribly, inexcusably wrong. About you. About everything. My ego, my stupid pride, almost killed all of us. You're twice the soldier I'll ever be. Olivia, tired but without bitterness, responds, Marcus, I didn't do it for your approval. I did it because it was right. Because they were lives worth saving. Including yours. Hayes, voice thin with embarrassment, admits, I made jokes about you not hearing radios. But you were the only one who heard what mattered. You read the situation better than any of us with perfect hearing. Parker, sincere for the first time, adds, I called you weak. But you're the strongest person I've ever met. Physically and in here. He taps his chest over his heart. Senator Blackwood, weak but determined voice, promises, Lieutenant Carter. When I return to Washington, the first thing I'll do is ensure your story is known. You deserve recognition. Medal of Honor at minimum. Olivia closes her eyes again. Not from physical pain. From emotional exhaustion. From years of carrying the weight of being invisible. Of being less than. Of fighting for scraps of respect. Olivia, whisper barely audible, confesses, I just wanted a chance. That's all. Just one real chance to prove I could do it. Morgan, putting his hand on her shoulder with gentle firmness, states, you didn't just get a chance. You proved you're exceptional. Beyond exceptional. And in that helicopter, flying back to base through clouds painted orange by sunset, something shifts in the universe. 5 men learned humility the hard way. 1 woman proved her worth in fire and blood. But the real story hasn't been told yet. Because there's a secret that Olivia carries. A secret about her disability that nobody knows. A secret that's about to change everything. 2 days later. Fort Bragg Military Hospital. Olivia lies in the bed, hand heavily bandaged, face with fresh stitches, but awake and alert. Light medication for pain, but her mind is sharp. The door opens. Colonel Helena Morrison enters, followed by 3 high-ranking officers Olivia has never met in person. General Thomas Bradshaw, 3 stars, 60 years old, face carved from granite and discipline. Brigadier Andrew Martinez, 2 stars, stern but fair reputation, and Colonel Anderson, the same one who rejected her from the mission originally. The same one who said she was too broken to serve. Helena, professional but with contained pride, asks, Lieutenant Carter, how are you feeling? Olivia, respectful despite discomfort, responds, I've been better, ma'am. But alive counts for something. General Bradshaw, deep authoritative voice that commands attention naturally, states, Lieutenant, we've read the reports from Operation Fallen Angels. 5 officers. 1 senator. All credit their lives to you. Every single one. Olivia, humble despite her heroism, deflects, Sir, I just did my job. Brigadier Martinez, genuine curiosity in his tone, probes your job included disarming 18 explosive devices, several under impossible conditions. The report says you disarmed multiple devices. Without hearing them? How is that even possible? Olivia hesitates. This is the moment. The truth or another deflection. Another half-story. Colonel Anderson, different from before with newfound respect, encourages, Lieutenant, you're not under investigation. But your abilities are extraordinary. Borderline superhuman. We need to understand how you do what you do. For training purposes. For future operations. Olivia looks at Helena. She makes the smallest nod. Tell them. Olivia, breathing deep and gathering courage, begins, Sirs. There's something I need to explain. About my disability. And about what it really means. The whole truth. And then, for the first time in 3 years, Olivia tells the complete story. Olivia, beginning her narrative with careful words, explains, when I lost hearing in my left ear 3 years ago, the doctors told me my military career was over. That without bilateral hearing, I was a liability. a danger to myself and others, that I'd never serve in combat again. During 6 months, I believed them. Fell into depression so deep I couldn't see light. Thought about leaving the army. About accepting that my disability defined me. That I was broken beyond repair. But then, one night, I received a message. From the boy I saved in Afghanistan. The 6-year-old who stepped on the IED. He'd learned English just to write to me. Spent a year in classes just to say thank you. The message was simple. Broken English typed on a borrowed computer. It said, "Miss Soldier Olivia, thank you for my life. You are hero. Without you, I not exist. Please, not give up. You important. You matter. You save me. Now save you." And in that moment, everything changed. I realized I couldn't waste my sacrifice. That child was alive because of what I lost. How could I call that a failure? How could I dishonor his second chance by throwing away mine? So I went back to training, but differently, smarter. I researched neuroplasticity, how the brain rewires itself after trauma. Discovered that when you lose one sense, your brain literally reconnects. The areas that processed sound from my left ear started processing other information. Touch became abnormally sensitive. I can feel vibrations others can't detect. Temperature variations of half a degree. Electrical pulses in live wires. Pressure changes in sealed containers. My peripheral vision expanded dramatically. I can detect lateral movement that would normally require turning your head. I see more with one focused direction than most people see scanning. And most importantly, I developed what neurologists call haptic tactile perception. I can hear through touch. Vibrations of mechanisms. Frequencies of electronic devices. Electromagnetic fields around live circuits. The hum of electricity translated through my fingertips. General Bradshaw, fascination clear in his voice, confirms, "You're saying your disability became an ability?" Olivia, honest and precise, clarifies, "Not exactly, sir. The disability still exists. I still can't hear from my left side. In a firefight with sounds coming from multiple directions, I'm at disadvantage. But I compensate in ways that people with full hearing can't. Because they don't need to. They have sound. I have everything else. Enhanced and focused." Colonel Anderson, guilt heavy in his words, realizes, "So when I said you were a liability." Olivia, no anger but crystal clarity, finishes, "You were measuring capability with the wrong tool, sir. It's like judging a fish by its ability to climb trees. Wrong metric. Wrong assessment. Wrong conclusion." Heavy silence fills the hospital room. The weight of years of prejudice confronting reality. Olivia, more vulnerable now, continues, "But the complete truth? There's more. Something I never told anyone except my father." She opens the drawer beside her bed. Pulls out a yellowed envelope. Letter handwritten in familiar script that makes her heart ache. Olivia, voice catching slightly, explains, "This letter was written by my father, Colonel Michael Carter. He died 2 years ago. Heart attack at 58. Stress and guilt, the doctors said." Her voice breaks just slightly. Just enough to show the human beneath the soldier. Olivia, steadying herself, continues, "He wrote this 1 week before he died. I only opened it 3 months later. Because I wasn't ready to hear his voice again. Even in written form." She unfolds the letter with trembling fingers. Reads aloud with emotion carefully controlled. The letter begins, "My dearest Olivia, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I hope to somewhere I can finally be proud of you without the chains of military protocol. Without the politics and prejudice. I need to tell you something I've carried for 3 years. A weight that destroyed me from inside. The humanitarian mission in Afghanistan. The one that changed your life forever. It wasn't unofficial by accident. It was unofficial because I structured it that way. You'd applied for high-risk operations repeatedly. And were denied. Repeatedly. For being female. By the same colonels who thought you were too valuable to waste in combat. Code for too female to trust. I was furious. So I created a mission. Voluntary. Humanitarian. Low profile. And I put you on it. So you could prove your worth. Gain real experience. Show them what I already knew. That you were exceptional. But I didn't know. Couldn't have known. That there were IEDs in that region. Intelligence was 6 months outdated. Budget cuts and bureaucratic failures. And when I received the call that you'd been wounded, that you'd lost your hearing saving that child, I died that day, Olivia. My heart kept beating for 2 more years, but I died in that moment. Because it was my fault. My ambition to see you recognized almost killed you, and left you with permanent disability. I wrote reports, recommendations, tried to protect you bureaucratically, pulled every string I had. But it wasn't enough. The system is too big, too broken, too prejudiced. So I need you to know, your disability doesn't define you. Your sacrifice for that child wasn't in vain. And the pride I feel for you exceeds any pain you carry. You're exceptional, Olivia. Not despite your disability. Because you transformed tragedy into strength. Turned loss into innovation. Became something nobody expected. Continue proving them wrong. For yourself. For every woman who'll come after you. For every soldier who doesn't fit their narrow definition of capable. And forgive your stupid father for putting ambition above safety. For loving you so much that I risked too much. I'm sorry, my warrior daughter. And I'm so proud. With eternal love, Dad. When Olivia finishes reading, tears stream down her face openly. No shame. No hiding. Just raw human emotion in its purest form. The 4 officers stand in absolute silence. Some have moisture in their own eyes. Olivia, crying but strong, voice unwavering despite tears, declares, "That's the complete truth, sirs. My disability was caused by a system that wouldn't give me a fair chance. By protectionism that thought it was saving me but was suffocating me. By a father who loved me so much he took desperate measures. And for 3 years, I carried guilt. Thought my disability was punishment for his mistake. Penance for pride. But during Operation Fallen Angels, I understood, it's not punishment. It's transformation. I'm not lesser for hearing less. I'm different. And sometimes, different is exactly what a mission needs. What a team needs. What the future needs." General Bradshaw, moved and respectful, voice thick with emotion, states, "Lieutenant Carter, Olivia, your father would be proud. Not for what you lost, but for what you became. For who you are." Brigadier Martinez, decisive tone cutting through emotion, proposes, "General, with your permission, I'd like to propose something." The general, authoritative acknowledgement, responds, "Speak freely, Brigadier." The brigadier, conviction in every word, continues, "Lieutenant Carter has demonstrated unique abilities. Literally unique. No other explosives specialist works the way she works. I propose creation of a specialized unit. Training for soldiers with compensatory disabilities. Led by Captain Carter." General Bradshaw, questioning the rapid promotion, challenges, "Immediate promotion? Brigadier, she only has 3.5 years as lieutenant." The brigadier, firm and unwavering, argues, "And she saved 6 lives, including a United States Senator, with half her hearing and dislocated fingers. Sir, if that doesn't merit accelerated promotion, what does? What standard are we actually using?" The general, a slight smile forming, concedes, "Fair point. Colonel Anderson, you rejected her candidacy for Operation Fallen Angels. Your thoughts now?" Colonel Anderson, genuine humility in his admission, states, "I was wrong, sir. Profoundly, inexcusably wrong. Prejudice masquerading as protocol. And if when Captain Carter accepts this leadership role, I'd like to personally recommend her for Medals of Valor. Not for charity. For absolute merit. For heroism that redefined what we thought possible. All eyes turned to Olivia, waiting for her response. This moment will define not just her future, but the future of countless others. General Bradshaw, formal offer extended, asks Lieutenant Carter, "Would you accept leadership of this new unit?" Project Phoenix, rising from the ashes. Building strength from what others see as weakness. Olivia wipes her tears with her unbandaged hand. Looks at Helena, who smiles with maternal pride and a nod that says, "This is your moment." Olivia, decided and clear, accepts with one condition, "Sir. I accept. Under one condition." The general, intrigued, prompts, "Which is?" Olivia, voice strong and unwavering, demands that no soldier under my command is ever judged by what they've lost. Only by what they can do. That we measure capability by results, not by checking boxes on a medical form. That different becomes valuable, not disposable. The general stands from his chair. Extends his hand across the hospital bed. General Bradshaw, respect absolute, agrees, "You have my word, Captain Carter. And that's a promise from the United States Army. Welcome to your new command." Olivia shakes his hand with her good hand, the grip firm despite her injuries. 1 year later. Fort Bragg Special Operations Training Facility. A new building stands where an old warehouse used to be. The sign above the entrance reads, "Phoenix Unit, Specialized Operations Division." Inside, 20 soldiers train, each with their own story. Each with their own disability that the old system would have discarded. A soldier with one leg working explosives disposal with precision that puts able-bodied operators to shame, using balance and spatial awareness developed through years of compensation. A soldier with severe PTSD leading trauma response teams, his understanding of psychological breakdown making him the best at talking down hostiles and preventing violence. A soldier who's deaf in both ears commanding tactical sign language operations, his team communicating silently in ways that radio intercepts can never compromise. A soldier with a prosthetic arm outperforming everyone in marksmanship, his mechanical limb eliminating human tremor and providing stability others can only dream of. And leading them all, Captain Olivia Carter, now 33 years old, new scars added to old ones, each a badge of survival and transformation. She walks through the training floor, observing, correcting, encouraging. She stops beside a young woman, 24 years old, with burn scars covering half her face and clouded vision in one eye. The recruit is struggling with a diffusal simulation, frustration visible in every movement. Olivia, voice gentle but firm, approaches Recruit Morrison. "Problem." The recruit, voice tight with frustration and self-doubt, admits, "Ma'am, I can't see the color coding clearly with my damaged eye. I keep second-guessing myself." Olivia, understanding in her tone, guides her, "Then don't use your eyes. Use your other senses. What do you feel?" The recruit, confused, questions, "Feel, ma'am." Olivia, patient teaching, explains, "Close your eyes. Both of them. Put your fingers on the wires. Tell me what you feel." The recruit closes her eyes, hesitant but trusting. Places her fingers on the training device. Seconds pass. Then understanding dawns on her face like sunrise. The recruit, wonder in her voice, realizes the red wire is warmer. The current is stronger. The blue wire vibrates differently. I can feel the difference." Olivia, proud smile evident in her voice, confirms, "Now you're getting it. You're damaged. I forced you to develop other skills. Use them. Trust them." The recruit opens her eyes, tears forming, voice breaking with emotion. "They told me I'd never make it through training. That I was damaged goods." Olivia, placing hand on the recruit's shoulder with understanding earned through shared pain, states, "They told me the same thing. They were wrong then. They're wrong now. You're not damaged. You're different. And different wins wars that normal can't even fight." She pulls something from her pocket. A small pin. Phoenix rising from flames. Olivia, ceremonial weight in her words, presents, "This was given to me by Colonel Morrison. The woman who gave me my chance when nobody else would. Now I'm giving it to you. Not because you're special. Not because I pity you. But because you've already earned it. You just needed someone to see it. The recruit takes the pin with shaking hands, tears falling freely now. The recruit, voice thick with gratitude, whispers, "Thank you, ma'am. I won't let you down." Olivia, firm correction, responds, "You won't let yourself down. That's what matters. Now get back to training. I want that device disarmed in under 2 minutes by the end of today." The recruit, newfound determination, affirms, "Yes, ma'am." As Olivia walks away, Morgan approaches. Now Major Morgan, promoted for his actions during Operation Fallen Angels. He carries a tablet with mission briefings. Morgan, professional but warm, reports, "Captain, we have 3 mission requests specifically asking for Phoenix Unit. 2 hostage situations with complex explosive scenarios. 1 deep cover operation requiring non-traditional communication." Olivia, satisfied but not surprised, responds, "Send me the details. We'll review which teams are ready." Morgan, genuine admiration, adds, "You know, a year ago, I thought you were a liability that could get us killed. Now, Phoenix Unit has the highest mission success rate in special operations. 99.2%. You've built something revolutionary." Olivia, looking at her soldiers' training, reflects, "I didn't build it alone. Every person here built it. They just needed permission to be excellent in their own way." A voice calls from across the training floor, familiar and respected. Colonel Helena Morrison enters, now promoted to Brigadier General, 2 stars gleaming on her uniform. Helena, pride evident, greets, "Captain Carter. Your unit is impressive." Olivia, respect automatic, responds, "General Morrison. Thank you, ma'am. None of this happens without you." Helena, dismissing the credit, counters, "I opened a door. You built a cathedral. There's a difference." She hands Olivia an official document, the seal of the Department of Defense embossed on expensive paper. Helena, significant news, announces, "Presidential recognition. Medal of Valor. You and your entire team from Operation Fallen Angels. Ceremony at the White House next month." "And there's more." Olivia, curious, prompts, "More, ma'am." Helena, smile breaking through professional demeanor, reveals Senator Blackwood pushed through new military legislation. The Adaptive Capability Act. It mandates evaluation based on demonstrated ability rather than medical classification alone. It opens doors for thousands of soldiers who would have been medically discharged. It's being called the Carter Act unofficially. Your legacy in law. Olivia feels emotion rising but controls it, years of discipline holding firm. Olivia, voice thick, responds, I don't know what to say." Helena, mentor to student, advises, "Say you'll keep doing what you're doing. Keep proving that strength comes in forms they never imagined. Keep building soldiers they can't ignore." Olivia, determination renewed, promises, "Every day, ma'am. Every single day." Helena leaves. Morgan returns to his duties. The training floor continues its rhythm of growth and transformation. Olivia stands alone for a moment, watching her soldiers. Each one fighting their own battle. Each one winning in their own way. She touches the scar on her left ear. The one that took everything and gave her something else. Something unexpected. Something powerful. Her thoughts drift to her father. To his letter. To his sacrifice and mistakes and love. Olivia, speaking quietly to the memory, whispers, "I hope you can see this, Dad. I hope you know it was worth it. All of it." The training alarm sounds. Next exercise beginning. Olivia moves back into motion, back to purpose, back to the work that defines her now. Because she's not Lieutenant Olivia Carter who lost her hearing anymore. She's Captain Olivia Carter who found her voice. And that voice echoes through 20 soldiers. Then 100. Then thousands across the military branches as the program expands beyond anyone's expectations. The silence that took her hearing became the silence she learned to read. The weakness they saw became the strength she built. The disability they feared became the ability they needed. And in a bunker, 18 months after Phoenix Unit was founded, she stands over another device. Another countdown. Another impossible situation. The timer reads 47 seconds, exactly like before, like the universe loves its symmetry. But this time, 4 of her Phoenix soldiers stand with her, each bringing their unique abilities to solve what seems unsolvable. The deaf soldier reads vibrations through the floor, detecting the secondary device nobody else knew existed. The one-legged soldier balances perfectly still, becoming a human tripod for the precision work. The PTSD soldier keeps everyone calm, his understanding of fear making him the perfect voice of reason. The recruit with damaged vision works by touch, feeling what others can't see. And Olivia coordinates them all, conducting a symphony of different abilities creating perfect harmony. 47 seconds becomes 42. Then 35. Then 20. Then 10. The device disarms with 5 seconds remaining. Silence. Then cheers. Then radio chatter confirming hostages saved. Mission successful, 0 casualties. As they exit the bunker into daylight, Olivia looks at her team. Different abilities. Different stories. Different scars. Same excellence. Same valor. Same proof that the old definitions of capable were always too narrow, too limited, too blind to see potential hiding in unconventional forms. She touches her scar one final time. Not with regret. Not with pain. With gratitude. Because that explosion that took her hearing 3 years ago gave her something nobody expected. A voice that couldn't be silenced. A strength that couldn't be broken. A legacy that would outlive her. And standing in the sunlight, surrounded by soldiers who were told they weren't enough but proved they were everything, Olivia finally understands what her father meant in his letter. She's not exceptional despite her disability. She's exceptional because she transformed what everyone called weakness into undeniable strength. Because she refused to let others define her limits. Because when they said she couldn't, she proved she already did. The silence that took her world gave her a new way to hear. And what she heard was this: you're not defined by what you've lost. You're defined by what you do with what remains. And sometimes, what remains is more than enough. Sometimes, it's everything. The end.